This Saturday's free movie night will feature the 1987 classic from 20th Century Fox, The Princess Bride. This one is rated PG, just over an hour and a half long. Heartbroken over the death of her beloved Wesley, beautiful Buttercup finally succumbs to the advances of the wicked Prince Humperdinck. Yet, when she's suddenly kidnapped by a motley band of deviants, what gallant hero comes to her rescue? None other than Wesley, alive, well, and as wonderful as ever. But before these two can live happily ever after, they must first overcome formidable odds. Will these star-crossed lovers ever fulfill their destiny, or, this time, will Buttercup lose Wesley forever? The background of this movie is that a grandfather is visiting his sick grandson and decides to read to him one of his favorite storybooks that was read to him when he was a young boy. And so that sort of fantasy framework, this is all make-believe, it's just from a storybook, is probably a big part of why this is only rated PG. Also, the PG-13 rating was barely a few years old when this movie was coming out. So although it has definitely become a staple childhood movie for a lot of people, especially those like me who grew up in the late 80s and early 90s, there are some pretty intense scenes. There are multiple sword fights, one where a person is stabbed multiple times and you see blood. He ends up turning it around and winning and very intensely running someone through with his sword. There are just a few instances of pretty intense language as well. And any kids that have a trouble with rodents who are not that great around mice or rats, there's a scene that involves a gigantic rat, like almost the size of a small horse, attacking the main hero and biting him, and he's shouting and bleeding. It's a whole thing. There's also a scene where the hero Wesley is captured and put into a torture machine, is the only way I can think to describe it. And there's a scene where, again, he's obviously in a lot of pain, shouting and kind of writhing around as he's tied down to this table. There are great, really memorable characters. There's awesome dialogue. It is an eminently quotable movie. Be prepared for your kids reciting lines from it over and over. As always, I'll have a link in the description to more detailed information about content and ratings so you can have a little more info when you're making a decision about whether this movie seems good for you and your kids. If you plan to join me this Saturday, then I'll be pressing play right about 7:15. Please try and let me know ahead of time so I have a rough head count. Feel free to bring favorite snacks, a pillow and a blankie to get comfortable and enjoy this fun, over-the-top, very much swashbuckling adventure type of movie.